Morning. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We're just getting started. How is everybody this morning? It is Thursday, March 6th today, 2025. Woo, cannot believe it. Okay. All right, we're live on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. My name is Coach Lacy. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you're notified every time we go live in the morning. It is almost 10 a.m. over here on the West Coast, which means it's probably the afternoon where you're at if you're watching me live from anywhere other than the Pacific Northwest or West side of the world. So again, I'm Coach Lacy. I'm your host. This is Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. If you're watching the replay in the group Rise and Shine, make sure to anchor in with your checklist, with the daily foundations checklist, with one of your tasks. If you only have one thing that you can do today, just do the one thing. If you can do all 8, yes, yes. So today we are diving into something I was thinking about last night, and then I was thinking about it today too. Thinking all day about it actually. Um, One of the most powerful choices that we make every single day. We make everything we do as a choice, right? Everything we do in this life is a choice. And one of the most powerful choices we make each day is the choice between to have faith or to lean into our fear, to let the fear monster grab us, right? And to have doubts and anxiety. Anxiety is just fear, and fear is easy. Fear is an easy thing to grab onto and seek comfort in, right? Fear is a very easy thing to seek comfort in. Oh my goodness. Fear doesn't ask anything of us. Doesn't ask anything of us but to just stay small, stay hidden, and stay stuck. And fear just tells us all the things that we want to hear so that we just don't do what we need to do, right? And fear is what helps us. Fear is what prevents us from moving forward, but we unravel the sweater when we grab onto that thread, right? You grab onto the thread of fear and you're like, oh, I have anxiety about this. Oh, this isn't working. Oh, I need to change this. And so then you grab that thread and you just go with it and it unravels the sweater, then ravels it. And then you've undone everything that you've done, and here we are. Here we are. A lot of fear-based conversations this week. Pretty, pretty interesting when you're on the other side of things and you're leaning into your faith. Because, like I said, fear doesn't ask anything of us. It doesn't ask us to move. It doesn't ask us to do nothing but stay small and isolated and stuck and in a rut. Fear is that moment of, oh, I don't, I got invited to go do something. Do I really want to go do it? Nah, I'll just cancel. That's fear. Fear is when you start your business and you are doing all the things and you look at it and you go, I don't like this. Let's undo all of it. That's fear. Fear is refusing to show up online and doing a video like that. I don't know. They're going to laugh at my makeup and my hair. I look like crap today. I'm not going to do that. That's fear. Fear's easy. It doesn't ask anything of us. But faith, man, faith requires us to move. Faith requires us to jump off. Faith requires us to jump off that ledge into the unknown. It requires us to trust. It requires us to move without a map. It requires us to trust without proof and to lean into the unknown without knowing how. You always wonder how you're going to do it until you did it. Then you wonder how did it. You wonder how you done it till you did it. And right now, right there, the not knowing, that is where most of us get stuck, in that uncertainty. We get just stuck in the uncertainty. We want to know how it's going to work out before we even take that first step. We want to have that certainty. Are you sure that's going to work? Are you sure? What if I do it this way? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Don't have that certainty. I'm not sure about that. But faith requires us to take that first step. Faith asks us to jump. Faith asks us to jump off the cliff into the water, even though our brain is like screaming and saying, no, 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 we could die. Faith is like, nope, you're going to be okay. Faith asks us to jump first, jump first and trust that trust that the water will be deep enough to hold us. Trust that we won't hit the rocks, right? So I want to talk to you today about making a conscious choice every day to lean into faith every time fear pops up, even when it makes no sense at all. Even when you're like, this just doesn't make any logical sense. Why am I doing this? Faith of a mustard seed, right? Power of small beginnings. You have the faith of a mustard seed. My mom used to say that to me. If you have the faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will move. It's a verse from Matthew, Bible. Faith as small as a mustard seed. And what I love about that is it doesn't say that you need faith the size of a mountain. You don't need faith that's, much bigger than a mustard seed. A mustard seed. Does everybody know what a size of a mustard seed is? Go look at a mustard seed. A mustard seed is like so tiny. You know the bird seed you feed the birds? That's mustard seeds. Faith, yeah, that's all you need is a faith of a mustard seed. So you don't know how to move. You don't have to know how to move the mountain. You just need to believe that it can be moved. You just need to believe. Like the belief is what moves the mountain. Most of us waste our energy in asking, how am I going to do this? We don't ask instead, who do I need to become so that this is important to let this happen? Who do I need to become to let this happen? How do I need to show up in the world so that things can move into a way that are fluid? How do I need to show up in the world? Faith is about identity. It's about choosing to be the kind of person who believes that God's got this, even when we don't have it, right? We don't have it. Faith is a choice. It's a choice. Like we choose how we show up in the world with our energy. And fear is a contracting energy. So it pulls you inward and it makes you smaller and it just keeps you stuck. Faith, consequently, is an expanding energy and it pushes you forward, making you bigger, opening up your heart and opening up possibilities that you hadn't even considered. And you're an energetic match for whatever you're putting out. But so you can't be an energetic match for faith if you're living in fear. You can't be an energetic match for fear if you're living in faith. They don't exist at the same time. These are two different energies. So when you choose faith, you align with the energy and what you want to call in. But when you choose fear, you're out of alignment and you're actually in alignment, though. You're in alignment with energy that you're afraid of, but you're out of alignment with faith. So then you're in alignment with the fears, the things that you're actually afraid of. So your thoughts become your reality simply because that's the energy we're putting into the world, right? So it's really not about faith versus fear. It's about deciding what energy that you want to embody and how you want to show up in the world. What kind of energy do you want to project? What kind of energy do you want to align with? How do you want to show up in the world? How do we actually make a conscious decision to shift our energy? Like, what does that even look like? How do we make the choice to lean into faith when fear's screaming in our ear? Like you have this dark passenger that's just beep, 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 going and going and going. We all have some sort of dark passenger. We all have the little devils in our ears screaming about something. We just choose whether or not to listen to them, right? And it's a conscious choice of leaning into the fear or leaning into faith. So here's a couple things that can help you with making the choice. When you recognize, you have to first be conscious that you are you're living in fear and that you are operating from a place that isn't exercising faith. So as always, you're going to want to anchor into your foundations. That's the number one. So anchoring into your foundations is how you can make the choice. Making the choice looks like the circle of life. It helps us to figure out where our energy is leaking. So that exercise, the circle of life, in my release foundations guide, you can download that from my website, lacyjwatson.com. It's free. And you can do the circle of life exercise. And that helps you to see the areas that your energy is leaking and that you need to anchor in, and what habits that you need and what rituals that you need to implement into your daily routine so that you can build the foundation, because faith needs a foundation. You're not going to be able to live in faith if you're constantly depleted. That just brings fear. Like if you're sick all the time, that just brings fear. If you are not paying attention to your stress load, that just brings fear. Like you need to be conscious of your wellness foundations for everything. It is everything. I'm always going to hammer into these foundations, always. I might be off teaching a digital media class and I will still reference the wellness foundations because they're essential to everyday life. It is what propels you forward or condemns you, digs your hole. If you don't do the one thing every day that keeps you anchored, you're going to sink to the bottom of you're just going to float off. Actually, you won't even sink to the bottom. So you'll float off into space and not even have any sort of foothold anywhere. You'll just float. You don't want to be just floating. You don't want to just be aimlessly floating in outer space, So anchor in every day, anchor in, anchor in, anchor in. If you need a visual representation, think of the movie Interstellar, where not Interstellar, Gravity, where she gets if you've seen Gravity with Sandra Bullock, if you haven't, watch it. She's an astronaut and she is up in the International Space Station. She's trying to fix something on the space station. And what she has to do is she has to anchor in. She has to take this is where I get anchor in from. If anyone's wondering, it's not from sailing the seas. It's actually from this. You take the clip from climbing and you take your and you anchor in, you take your clip and you anchor in. And you have to clip on, right? On belay, clip on, clip on. You got to clip on. So you got to anchor in, clip on, clip on. But anyways, she doesn't get her clip breaks, and it breaks off, and she ends up getting caught by outer space, and she just goes floating. She just floats aimlessly and aimlessly and aimlessly because there's no gravity or anything that's holding her on. She's not anchored in. So the wellness foundations are like that movie Gravity, because you have to anchor in. You have to anchor in, or else you're going to be lost in outer space, floating aimlessly. Floating aimlessly. So how do we choose faith over fear? We anchor into our foundations. Always anchor in on belay. Shift your words. Be conscious of your thoughts create your reality, and your words are how you speak it into existence. So your words actually create your world, and you want to be very conscious of the words that you're saying to yourself and to others. So if you keep saying, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, that's reinforcing the fact that you're living in fear. Instead, try shifting to something different. To God is already making a way, even if I can't see it yet. Do you see how different that is? Don't know how I'm going to get through this. God is already making a way, even if I can't see it yet. Like, who you are today is not who you were yesterday. It's not who you will be tomorrow. And the person yesterday is in awe of who you are today. So is the person for tomorrow. Oh, I can never talk. Shift your words. So be nice to yourself. Be kind to yourself. We're not nice around here. We're kind. Be kind to yourself. Shift out of fear, right? We got to shift out of fear. Words are energy. Choose them wisely. And then again, I'm always hammering on the motion. Movement. Motion is emotion. Move your body. If you're in a fear-based state and you're like worried about money, money is like the top number one contender for everyone. I'm worried about money. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't pay my bills. Like $200. Like, all the things. You're frustrated. You're living in fear. Rather than not, rather than looking at what you don't have and looking at what's not working for you, shift your mindset and instead to a place of empowerment of, okay, so right now in my bank account, it's not looking too good. Things aren't looking too good today, but this can change in a moment because I have a really great skill set and I can get out there and I can make a sale and that could change today for me. Um, or I'm feeling like I'm stuck in my job. I'm working a 9 to 5 and my paycheck's not paying the bills. I don't know what to do. This is impossible. I'm never going to get out of this. Well, you could shift that energy to, okay, I'm working 9 to 5 every day. What part of the day can I squeeze an hour in that I can work on a side hustle so that I can make some extra income? What can I do in an hour of my time to make a little bit extra money? Instead of, oh, there's nothing I can do, or oh, um this house is just causing me so many problems. I can't believe that I bought this house. It's breaking down everywhere. It's costing me so much money. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm just living tired of this crap. Well, lean into the grateful that you have a home. Some people are renting. So you can lean into, you know what, God, thank you. Thank you for this home. I know that it's costing me some money to live here and it is expanding me beyond my means, but I have faith that you are going to carry me through and this will help me grow and I will be a better version of myself for tomorrow so that I can help people get through this, you know, in their time today. There are shifts that you could make. There are shifts you can make every time that you start going down this negative road. Catch yourself and correct yourself. Catch, correct, catch, correct. I do it all the time. Like I used to be a total negative Nancy, but fear, fear, it lives in stagnation. So if you start moving your body and you actually like move and then you shift your mind and your thoughts, doing something as simple as listening to something positive while you're taking a walk, that will shift everything for you instantly. Instantly. If you make the conscious decision to go move your body and listen to something positive and feed your mind with something that's not negative and fear-based, you will instantly shift out of fear mode and into faith mode. So something as simple as breath work can shift your energy from faith to fear. Just taking a moment to breathe and pause, the blink, pause, breathe. I move so quickly that when I get into fear mode, it could go down the rabbit hole really bad. Like I am, as you can see, I'm a quick one. I move fast. And so that moving fast can be to my own detriment because once I grab onto the fear, once the fear monster grabs me and I go down that rabbit hole, it takes a minute for me to get out. Like I do this thing where I just spin out. Like my husband and I were both um very pragmatic beings and we're both very deep thinkers and we are both very he's highly intelligent and I'm dangerously intelligent in some levels, but that has its own problems because that fear monster is large and it's large for everyone, but for people who look at a bigger picture of everything, fear grows with the picture. And so like when you hold a lot, that fear monster can be pretty big. And some of the things that I've seen in this world have it's shifted my fear a little differently. Um I actually saw such horrible things. If you don't know my story, I used to be a predator. I used to hunt like online predators and help turn things into the cybernet. And so I would like moderate things and see some horrible things. And I seen some things that were so god awful horrible that it actually took part of my fear away and transitioned it to faith, because it was so awful that if that was what was going on and God wasn't real, there's no hope for humanity at all. Like there's no hope for humanity. If the things that go on in this world go on and God doesn't exist, there's nothing. There's no point. Why are we even here? Like we should be smited. We should be done and thrown into the lake of fire forever if God doesn't exist. Like there should be nothing, no reason we're here. And so because I've seen such horrible atrocities, um, that actually rose my faith. And so it changed my faith in a way that it's so solid now that when I get into a place of fear, it's like, oh no, I know that evil exists, so the counter's here. We're going back to faith. We're going back to the faith zone, baby. So um that's just like my journey. So my point is when we get to a place of fear, like I've seen some really horrible things. Like nothing is so horrible that God can't deliver you from it, is my point. There is nothing out there in this world, nothing that is so awful that God can't pull you out. And so if you're living in a place of fear and you're scared right now and you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this money. I'm watching you because I'm scared for my health. I'm scared for my finances. I'm trying to figure out how to better my life, because that's probably why you're watching. So why you're here is you want to make your life better. I am just telling you right now, God's real. I've seen the devil. I'm about to cry, like literally on live video here. I'm about to cry because I want to deliver the message that God is real. Satan is real. The devil is real. The demons are here. I've seen them. I have seen them. And I'm telling you, have faith. Faith of a mustard seed, guys. It's like your life is never going to be perfect. Why should it be? How boring would that be if your life was perfect? Like, my life's not perfect. I show up every day with hope that I can touch someone. I'm not doing this because I want to be famous or whatever. People do things for the wrong reasons. There's this person that I love her dearly, and we're kind of in the same um we're on the same road here on different paths. We're kind of walking shoulder to shoulder, but this girl has like, I love her, but like she has taken her brand. Like, first of all, I don't even know what her brand is. And second of all, and I've even been a part of it. And second of all, um, she's copying everybody else. And it's like, be yourself. Like, just be yourself. You don't have to be your mentor. You don't have to show up as someone else. You don't have to live in this place of fear that people won't like you. Who cares? Like, and so when you're living in this place of fear and you show up in this like inauthentic state, everyone can feel it. And then it ends up making things look like they're incomplete or they're not. Just from like a brand level, it just makes it look like there's something missing, right? And so what we want to do as people and business owners and providers and healers and wellness um, providers, we want, and coaches, consultants, we want to operate from a level of authenticity that we're so grounded in who we are and our faith, and that fear, there's just really not a lot of time or space for that, number one. And number two, our faith in God is so certain. Like we're so certain that God has our back and that we're living our purpose, that there's just no room for it. And so that's a different energy. And when you step into that energy, you'll know it. And you'll stop looking to everybody else for advice, and you'll stop going, oh, I need this certificate. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. You don't need another certificate. You don't need to go to school for another, like maybe you do if you've never gone. But if you are like in this industry, if you're in my industry, which is the coaching and wellness industry, most of us don't need another certificate. Most of us don't need another thing. We just need to have some faith. You need a certificate of faith. Have some faith in yourself. Like where did you lose faith in God? Like where did you lose faith in yourself? Like where did you lose the faith? Like gosh, when was the last time you made a decision purely out of faith and not fear? Like really, when was the last time? If you already knew that God was working it out, what would you do differently? Like, what would you do differently? How would you show up in the world if you were just absolutely certain that God's got your back? God's got your back. God's got your back. If you learn anything from me today, God's got your back. For sure. Just because you're going through trials and difficulty and discomfort, that does not mean that God doesn't exist. There's this fallacy out there that God doesn't exist because we have to go through difficulty, or that you can only be successful if you're like everything is hard or whatever. Like there's this weird thing about hard times and difficulty that people don't like it. I'm someone that embraces it. I'm like, give me the hard. I want to do the hard. I'm going to do the hard thing first. Like all of my assignments, I do the hard thing first. Always do the hard thing first. Don't leave it off. Don't put it off. Don't put it to chance. Embrace the hard. Embrace the spiky. Embrace the pain. Because once you embrace the pain and you have the faith of the mustard seed, that's when everything grows. Like you can't grow unless you're uncomfortable, period. But that doesn't mean that you lose your faith in the discomfort. You can be completely like totally uncomfortable, scared, like not scared, but like unsure, uncertain. You can be uncertain. Certainty and fear are two different things. Like fear is this, it's a lack of faith. Fear is just a lack of faith. Certainty is like, I'm, you can be certain but still be in fear because you don't have faith. But you can't have faith and lack certainty. Doesn't happen. And you'll understand what I mean if you're there right now. But if you're not there, like if your base operating system is living in fear and you're kind of like at level 101 self-development, spirituality, that's okay. You'll get there. Don't be hard on yourself because of what you don't understand today. Just keep, just have faith. Just have faith. Just have faith, guys. Just have faith. Anchor into your wellness foundations. Change the way that you talk to yourself. Move your body. These are very simple things. These are very simple things. Are your words building a foundation of faith, or are they building a foundation of fear? Are the things that you're telling yourself and others building that foundation? Faith is not passive. It's not something that you can just passively do. It's an active choice. You have to make a choice every single day until it becomes your default setting. It's my default setting now. Like sometimes fear pops up, once in a while when I've got like financial or health stuff, especially. Oh my gosh, my husband's health stuff is like really, but little update, he hasn't had his vomiting in a week, which is like huge for us. We're on a new medication protocol and it's working right now. We take everything one day at a time, 1 second at a time, because with cyclical vomiting, if any of you out there suffering with cyclical vomiting syndrome, you know that it just comes up out of nowhere and your whole life is just it's it's anchored to that, because you can't, like, if someone is throwing up, just imagine yourself having like the hiccups and throwing up all day long, just all day long. It's awful. It's horrible. It's like really horrible disease, horrible condition to have. So we had to have a lot of faith in God. We had to have a lot of faith in this protocol that we're doing with the VA and our new doctors. Um, I had to have a lot of faith in that they would help him, because we don't trust the medical system. We are like not cool. We're not cool with the medical system in our house. And um I know way more than I like to be dangerous. And going to the doctor for us is an event, because I'm constantly answering questions. I'm the hair in the soup for the doctor. Like the doctor, his butthole puckers when I come in. because I ask all the questions. The medical assistants, the freaking ER here know me. But when I walk in, every single one of them buttholes pucker because they know I'm going to ask all the questions. I'm going to be in their face like, we don't like the medical system here, but we don't like the medical system. We had to have faith in the medical system to help fix him because natural wasn't fixing it. My natural route was not fixing it. I did everything. For anyone watching this, if you're like, oh, did you try this, this, and this? I tried everything. We've tried everything. I've worked in naturopathic medicine since 2008. We've been to multiple naturopaths. We've been to multiple doctors. We've been to it all. So for those people out there who live this life of medical trauma and matrix, I get it and I see you and I'm here for you. That's why I started my business. I started my business so that I could be free to help take care of my family. I started my business so that I could break free and step into my own identity and quit being the sidekick. Okay. I started my own business so that I could live my life and be the star of my show while helping other build their shows and like be the star of theirs. That's all I ever like wanted was to help people. So I had to have faith to do that, right? Like I quit my job like cold turkey one day, all in an act of faith. And I will never forget that day, ever. It will sit with me. It's actually almost a year ago. Um, it's almost been a year. And I don't know exact date. I should look. I think it was March 12th or something like that. No, that's my daughter's birthday. But there's my point is I had a moment that day where I had to make a decision. And I will never forget that day. That was the biggest faith day I've ever had. Um, it was just God was on the move that day for sure. Um, and I just made a decision and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm living someone else's dream right now. I'm working so hard for someone else's dream and I'm not being fed. My my fridge doesn't have food in it and I am not able to buy new contacts. I'm not able to get new shoes. I'm not able to do anything because I'm only making $1,000 a month. Like, how is that okay? And I'm working on building my business while working on, because I had already started my business at this point. It was a side hustle. And that side hustle was keeping me alive because my job was not. And if it wasn't for the side hustle, because my husband was sick and he was also trying to work and we were really not making it wasn't easy because we were going through some stuff and we didn't know what it was really. And so confiding in people who are judgmental and like don't understand, I don't tell people my problems. I don't tell people what's going on in my life because I've had a lot of judgments and I've always been the hair in the soup. So I don't confide in people. You're not going to catch me confiding in anybody. Like I don't, people come to me. I have a counselor. Okay. Like that's about it. I don't come to anyone with my problems. If you're my friend, you probably have no idea what my life is like. If you do, God bless you. You're very special to me. So I don't tell people my problems. But I had faith that day. I had faith. I was struggling. I was really struggling. Man, I was struggling. Building somebody else's business who didn't have a clue what they really wanted. And like, God bless her, I love her, but she had no idea. She just wanted to go have fun. She didn't really want to help people. Maybe she did, but not in the way I do. And our hearts didn't match that way. And, everybody's on their own journey. And I will always be grateful and thankful for her part in my story and for the gifts she's gifted me. And one day I'll pay her back for everything that she ever gave to me. And I have a plan, but that day's not here yet. And I had to choose myself and I had to have faith and I had to start my business. Well, I had to go full time in my business. So I burned the boats. I did this thing where you burn the boats, right? The Spanish conquistadors came to America and they burned the boats so they couldn't go back because they knew that if they could go back, they would because it would be too hard. So I burned the boats and I quit my job. And my husband at the time had also quit his job because he was going through his stuff. It was, kind of a difficult time. And we did this business. We just leaned into faith really hard. And I didn't even have like a computer. My computer was crashed at the time. And we just prayed and prayed and prayed. And I pulled open my Bible and God gave me a verse that to just have faith. The faith, it was the mustard seed. Have the faith of the mustard seed. Oh my gosh. And it was the mustard seed. And I just leaned in and I'm a year into it now. And we praise God because we've been able to pay off some debts. We've been able to get some things in order. He has been able to get on a better wellness protocol to where this is the first week he's not vomiting for a couple of years now. And yeah, so it's just been good. And I want you to know that if whatever you're going through, you'll get through this. And you too, if you have faith of a mustard seed, whatever trial that you're facing, you will rise and you will come out on the other side and you'll be better for it. Watch your family, watch the people around you. Watching my husband and my parents and my siblings and my cousins and my nieces and my niece and my nephew just grow and mature. And my stepdaughter, oh my gosh, my stepdaughter is incredible. Man, I've been with her dad since she was 5 and she's about to become an adult. And she went through some bad times when she was like we all 15. 15 is a hard time. Drugs, all those things, boys, all the stuff. And we pulled her out. She tried to kill herself a few times, but we all co-parented. We did the right thing. We worked together. We co-parented really well with mom and brought her up here and got her the help she needed. And I put her on my health coaching plan and turned her around. And with the health coaching, going to church and the horse riding center, she's a completely different girl. She's on the honor roll. She's in Phi Theta Kappa. She has an idea what she wants to do with her life. She's influencing all of her friends. She's the mom friend that's always taking care of people. God is so good. God is so good, you guys. God is so good. Because we could have lost our girl. We could have lost our girl. But God is good. So you are not behind. Okay? Spiritual maturation, we talked about that yesterday, is not perfection. It's not about perfection. It is about progress. It's not about showing up as, perfect. It's about being the best version of who you are today, right now. And knowing that tomorrow will bring new lessons and new growth no matter what. Like tomorrow will come and it will bring those new lessons and growth. You are not behind. You didn't waste your life. There's a verse in the Bible that God could restore all the years that the locusts have eaten. And that is so true. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like faith is out of reach, and I want to remind you and that you are just behind. Faith doesn't ask you to figure it all out right now. Faith just asks you to keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Just need to show up. Show up for yourself. Have a little faith. Have a little faith in your abilities. Have a little faith in God. Just make a little mustard seed. Little mustard seed. Little tiny mustard seed. Mustard seeds are really tiny. They're very big. They're tiny. Not very big. Faith of a mustard seed. So this is your second reminder to anchor into your daily wellness foundations in the checklist. If you've downloaded my guide, the Release Foundations guide, or you're in the group populates checklist every day. It's in the pinned post. Go anchor in with your wellness foundations. If you haven't done anything today, find one and do it. Go read 10 pages. Go gratitude journal. That's a great way to start if you don't know where to start. Drink some water. Water is good. And if today's message hit home and you're ready to work on your wellness foundations and your circle of life, download my updated Release Foundations guide and start anchoring into your habits that you can build faith and not fear. And if you're really ready to go deeper, my release course is available now for a limited time. It's going away soon. It's for $97, probably the cheapest thing that I have available at this point. It's packed with tools to help you shift your energy and help you start living in alignment with your faith. I want to see you guys grow in your faith. I want to see you grow out of fear. Let's rise together. This is for me, for you, for us. It's not just about me. I'm here to help you live your dreams. That's why I'm showing up every day. My dream, showing up. I'm living my dream by helping you live your dreams, and together we rise. Okay? You've got this. Okay? Remember, fear is a liar. Faith is a builder. You get to choose which one you're building your life on. It's your choice. Okay? Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to go the dog. Let's keep choosing faith even when it doesn't make sense yet, and anchor into your healthy habits. Rise and shine, everyone. Have a great day. Ciao.